All right, so time for the next installment in the transit series. As you all know, we are in very interesting times, and we have a very unique new moon coming in the next 2 days. On Friday at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Time will be the culmination of the new moon, the darkest point. Every new moon is when the moon conjuncts the sun. And in this case, it'll take place in the third decan of Libra. So as I discussed in the decan videos, we know that the first decan of Libra is Libra Libra, the second one's Libra Aquarius, the third one is Libra Gemini. So we take in a Mercury disposition in this third decan, as Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So what this means is we must also look where Mercury is, and we find that Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio, just past the new moon and the sun at the end of Libra. So, what this means is, you can already probably feel it with the sun in the third decan and with Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. But this will be the time of getting to the bottom of what's been going on in each of our own lives, each of our own psyches. But furthermore, I'm going to zoom back for a little bit. Let's talk about the cycles of the moon. And there are many different levels of cycles, circles and cycles within cycles within cycles. But let's talk about one of the most broad cycles of the moon. And that is the 28-day cycle, from new to full and then back down to new, which that's longer. But anyway, so this is how it works. When a new moon comes, the old cycle is washed away and there's a rebirth. This is a time for going within, and this is the beginning of time when you manifest. The entire world conspires, whether consciously or unconsciously, to manifest the new cycle of the moon. This is the beginning of the cycle at the new moon. So we're about to have that on Friday, the 16th of October. So then, as we begin to manifest, with the strongest bit of manifestation being on that new moon, so in that evening on Friday is when you begin your manifestations, and all throughout that day, then what happens is it builds and it builds as the moon waxes, as it grows and grows and grows. And the stage is set during those 14 days on the way to the full moon. So the manifestations continue from that point on, but also the props get to be set up on the stage, the lighting is configured, everything is being set up for the play. Then on the full moon, the lights go up, the audience is there, and for the entire waning of that moon, the manifestations that were played out from the new moon to the full moon for those 14 days are then shown. The movie plays from the waning moon, or from the full moon down to waning to new again. So currently, the reason why things feel slower and slower and slower, especially if you have any Cancerian energy or Taurian energy, anytime that you feel the moon very strongly, or you have a moon calendar, or you do magic around the moon, anything that connects you with her, what happens then, as it continues to get closer and closer to the new moon, like we're at right now, the things slow down because most of the movie's played out. We're at like the end credits right now of this last 14-day movie, right? So we see most of the fruits come in usually right around the full moon and in the next 7 days as it goes down to half again. That's where the great majority of the play is, where all those manifestations take manifestation in reality. They become a real thing, right? And then that's why it feels slower as we go down, because we've either received the good fruits, we've received the bad fruits, we've received all the insights, we've watched all the other people go about their manifestations and see what they get. And then we're like, okay, it's time to start again. Everybody gets excited again. We get to set up a new play. So what I'd like to tell you guys is, this is one of the greatest chances to set up a new play, because this new moon is going to culminate in a blue moon. A blue moon is the second full moon that occurs in the same month. And you only get them once every blue moon. Once in a blue moon. It's not a very common occurrence. And this new moon will also be on October 31st, Halloween, in America, which is, and I guess worldwide if you celebrate Halloween. And what that means is that this date, October 31st, is already one of the largest portals for, this is Scorpio season, and this is one of the largest portals for all of these spirits, good and bad, to come into this realm. But with the blue moon as well, it will be an extra energized day, for good and for bad, but just in wave amplitude. In power, it will be an extremely powerful day. And the 14 days after, as it plays out, especially those 7 after in early November, will be where we will see the fruits of our labor, the fruits of our esoteric labor, of our magic, of our manifestation, of our will, and of our greater destiny and plan coming into fruition. So what I would like to say is that on Friday, if you have plans, I would keep those plans consolidated to, first of all, let's do this. It's always good to fast on the new moon. This is a ritual that's widespread across many, many cultures. And the way that you do this is don't eat any solid food while the sun is in the sky. So from whenever it rises for you, which would probably be what, 7, oh no, it'll be early. It'll be like 5:36, 6:37, sometime around there, depending where you are in the world. So don't eat from then until the sun goes down, which would be around 7 p.m. Or it could be 6, whatever. That's one good way to begin your process, to clean out your vessel, but also it's mostly for the spiritual means. There's only so much cleaning you can do in one day. But it's so that your intentions can be held strongly. Then you can have a magical meal, something that you like, with friends, with family if you'd like, or alone, whatever your situation is. Then you should go into solitude, for sure. No matter what you're doing on Friday, even if you go out and drink and do all kinds of shit, which I highly do not recommend, because then you're likely to manifest things that you're not fully conscious and aware of, that aren't in tune of your purpose as this moon cycle begins to play. So what I would recommend is that you set very clear intentions and that you use faith but also knowledge. Knowledge is like the higher part of faith. Like when Carl Jung was asked if he believed in God, which belief and faith are similar, he said, I don't believe in God, I know God exists. I know. So knowledge is that Aquarian piece, is that, and we're in the Aquarian age, it's further than faith. You already know that your manifestations are going to take place. And what I would like you to keep in mind is you can watch my How to Manifest videos if you'd like to get an idea of how to do this. But I would like you to keep in mind that if you're manifesting something large, that this month, the setting of the stage and the manifestation that occurs once we get to the full moon will likely get you closer to that goal, but you will not see the full fruition of it. Don't expect to see it in 1 month. So if you have a huge plan, whatever that may be, to connect with a twin flame, to become a successful entrepreneur, to divorce from your husband, to whatever your larger plan may be, pick a few smaller pieces and manifest those. That'll get you closer to the picture. Or just go ahead and manifest the big piece and just expect little things to come where you will have to take faith and courage during those manifestations to then get closer to your ultimate goal. Because everybody's on different levels, different trajectories, different plans, different cycles. So if you can tell that there's something big that you want to get done by the end of the year or something like that, then use this as like getting the most of those tasks done, so that you put yourself in a position for the next new moon to manifest even more and get even closer. Yes. And one thing is that this Mercury retrograde is actually going to be very helpful, I believe, depending on how you set your intentions and how you utilize this Mercury energy. Because Mercury in Scorpio shows you the truth and the depth and the duality of what you've been doing and what other people have doing around you. All the little pieces of control, all that investigative nature that wants to take you to the bottom of truth and of where's the root of the tree that I've been growing. Are the roots sickly? Are they deeply embedded? Are they spreading out far enough? How healthy are the roots? Is there water getting to the roots? All of this stuff. This is all about Scorpio, is finding the roots of the problem. So now that you've been doing that for these past few days, this past couple days especially, you'll have a couple more days to think about these things, and it'll give you a great idea for where your foundation needs to be strengthened and how. And so that will, if you tap into looking at how you've been operating in the past and just naturally letting this scorpionic energy feed in, even if it feels dark or it feels like it's putting you apart from other people, this will show you the truth of what the most important manifestations are. And this is a great time to tap into any of your guides and any of your own meditation, your divining practices, to ask which manifestations are most good, the best for you and for everybody else. And so I think I'd like to leave it there. The full moon will be in Taurus as well. The blue moon on the 31st, it'll be in early Taurus. And so that's an exaltation of the point, exaltation point of the moon, which will add even more strength to this as well. It'll be very physically manifest. This is a good time to manifest like physical stuff. That's it. Okay, guys, I'll be wishing you the best. Get your witchy and wizard energy out here and see what you can do.